which is reminding of our practices, Dharma. And so we follow with the instructions of the great master of his Khenpo Dongyal Rinpoche. I spoke a little bit about how this teaching came from and his story of how that happened. Those I think I mentioned already, and of course it's nothing too difficult to know. You can understand that easily. But now this again, the teaching itself begins here. Here, sit. I need my glass. Here in the sitting, to take the full advantage of the life that is so difficult to obtain. From here and all the way to almost this end of the verse, that is really the teachings. This teaching is the essence teachings of the entire Buddha teachings. What that means, the entire teaching of the Buddha Shakyamuni. Buddha reached enlightenment or become the Buddha according to his story as age 35. From age 35 onward, until he entered Mahaparinirvana, he gave the varieties of teachings to all the living beings according to their capabilities, their readiness. The Buddha gave the teachings. These teachings are teachings according to what they suit to the individuals. Buddha knows exactly how to give, how to share, how to develop their spiritual realizations. Buddha never forced. But every single teaching, what he gave, all that teaching goes directly to revealing one's own inner nature. Buddha's teaching is the teaching known as the teaching of the nature. Exactly where things are, where should be. It's not exaggerated, not overstated or understated. Where things as it simple. Just simple, frank, directly. That is what is teachings. That teaching is also non-violence. Teaching is peaceful. Teaching is equal to all the living beings. This is not just a Buddha made that because he thought it's good, but actually that's the way the things are. Everyone is equal. As I mentioned yesterday, and as well as you all know, is equal. Every level, we all equal. Nature level, that means nature of the mind, the potential of our individual, our own beings is also equal. Gracious, kindness, compassionate teacher said loudly, there is no difference between Buddha himself as well all the living beings. We all equal. Because why he became the Buddha? He pursued that true inner nature as inherited with courage, commitment, confidence, determination, combined with love, compassion, joy, and appreciations. This also, all this is what I'm talking, the courage, the commitment, the determination, and the love and the compassion, those are kind of very, very fancy or extraordinary, but reality is our nature. Your nature and my nature. Buddha pursued that true nature as it is, without diluted or diluted by the duality conceptions. He really maintained. That's why he became fully awake once, free from all the obscurations, negativities, ego clingings, self-important, self-centered minds. So that is what really, also this teaching is, even though short, looks like simple, but yet it contains all the teachings. Over 45 years of the Buddha's teaching are condensed in this mega powerful summary teachings by His Holiness Dudjom. Something easy to digest it, easy to cooperate it, easy to activate it, easy we can apply to every aspect of our lives. Not just only during the sitting meditation or sitting practices. Practice means generally, practice all time. Means maintaining always on the natural state where things are. What in the teaching said always, the meditation and the post-meditations. For the practitioner, those people who are doing retreat, then the practicing or the meditation state is longer. They do, for example, 24 hours. If we look to 24 hours, how long they practice? They practice maybe 80% of the 24 hours. Meditating, cultivating, relaxing, reflecting the teaching that they learned and received in that observing it to heart center, activating that nature. But most average individually, as many of us, how much we practice, if we think percentage of the 24 hours. Maybe 2 hours, 1.5 hours, or 1 hour. Those are maybe good times. When we are busy, when we are rushed, maybe you just do 5-minute practice. Maybe that's it. In the 24 hours, 5-10 minute practice is not very much. Not very much. Even we are sipping the one glass of the, one cup of the Starbucks coffee, it will take 10 minutes, more than 10 minutes. So think of that. I'm talking practical level, but we follow that. About 10-15 minutes, we think we practice, oh, I practice this 15 minutes. But reality is touch down to the ground and think and reflect that. Practice means we are not practicing to please the Buddhas or please someone. That practice means to improve ourselves, glorify our beautiful good natures from the way nature is. Glorifying our loving kindness, our compassion, our understanding. Then after all, our mindfulness, alertness. This is good for me, it's good for my family, friend, neighbors, and whole countries. That's true. It's not just exaggerating and making stories. Nobody can really deny on that. That's what really Buddha taught. So now, what Buddha taught, all those teachings, 45 years of the teachings, can be summarized into 3 teachings that you all know. As I said earlier, I'm reminding you all receive so many teachings from many great masters, as well as I'm sure you read so many books. There's so many really beautiful books, the teachings are now translated. Everything is your reach, our reach. So I'm sure you read. But entirely teaching can be summarized into 3 teachings. Those are known as the 3 basket teachings, or in Tibet, Denum songs. Basket, Vinaya basket, Sutra basket, Abhidharma baskets. What that means, basket? Basket means the Vinaya is not just a single one or single Vinaya. It contains all the good beauties. What those goods? But generally, Buddha teaching can be, again, the meaning of these 3 basket teaching be summarized or can be understood in 3. Those are known as morality teaching, concentration teachings, as well as wisdom teachings. So Abhidharma alone contains all that 3. Vinaya teaching, I'm going to talk now Vinaya. Vinaya teaching is the principle teachings on the morality or conduct, ethics, but yet it contains the meditation, concentrations, wisdom teachings. So therefore, it is like beautiful abundance of the goodness of the basket that filled in a basket named as Vinayas. Vinaya means discipline. Discipline our body, discipline our verbal communication, speech, discipline our mind. In the context of the nature, discipline, back to the nature. Presently we are out of range of the nature. So coming back to the nature. Gentle, peaceful, humble, simple, yet very thoughtful. That's the beauty. That's peaceful. Something soothing, something is rewarding. Even when you do that, if you're able to do that, when you reflect back to that what you did, truly is rewarding and beautiful. That is what really the Vinaya teaches. And it's such as a Sutra teaching. A Korean teaching, Sutra is a principle teachings on the concentrations, meditation. But yet it contains also morality teachings, it contains the wisdom teachings. It's the combination of all those beautiful three and related to many beautiful other nature's beauties. And Abhidhamma is the same things. So therefore, it's called basket. It's like just full of a beautiful basket that filled with goodness of the true nature of our own richness, call it, so that we can reveal one after another. We can unfolding this beautiful, glorious nature of the peace and harmonious, uplifting, rewarding to me, rewarding to the others, or to us, to the others. That's what really the beautiful basket is. So, all these teachings, now here, Great Master, his own Dudjom, every like to practice, every like to take the full advantage of this life, that which is difficult to obtain. Life, this difficult to obtain, is referring to our own these precious lives. Our life is difficult to obtain. This is generally, again, when practicing Dharma in the Buddha's teaching, there is generally three kind of like attitudes, three different attitudes. And those three attitudes are known as average attitude of all the practitioners, average attitudes. Then attitude of the Charvaka and Party Buddhas attitudes. And then Bodhisattva attitudes. Those are known as the average attitude, and then Charvaka and the Party Buddha attitude, Party Buddha, or Bodhisattva attitudes. The average attitude of that when you practice Dharma, many people think kind of like just average goals in this lifetime. Some really comfort, good things, beautiful, kind of recognitions, and as well as a little bit kind of good result, benefit, and good status, and fulfill the kind of practice of Dharma. I will get those things. I like to practice kind of just merely thinking of these lives, kind of better status, better recognitions. If those average people who believe the next lifetime, then also maybe think I practice this, that will give me better rebirth in the next lifetimes, or in higher realms, such as human realms or the God's realms, so forth, kind of thinking of that. That kind of attitude in practicing Dharma is known as the attitude of the average practitioners, the average. Then the Party Buddha and as well as Charvakas, that attitude is of course, the samsara has so many difficulties, so many troubles, one after another. I don't really like to go this all challenges, difficult one after another. I like to reach ultimate state of peaceful and ultimately free from this samsara state. Therefore, I'm going to practice and meditate and follow the according instructions. Those are known as the attitudes of the Charvaka and as well as the Party Buddhas, the attitudes. Then there's another attitude, the third one, Bodhisattva's attitudes. Bodhisattva attitude is known as the supreme attitude according to teaching. It is the biggest attitudes. Not just thinking only themselves or them, but thinking others. They put others are the front than themselves. Thinking about all living beings, how many they are going difficult, challenge, the troubles, one after another in a life. It just so much. Therefore, I really like to benefit and help. For that reason, I would like to get enlightenment, and for that reason, I'm practicing. and develop the bodhicitta and following the 6 paramata or the 10 paramata practices, actualize the realizations. And those are known as bodhisattvas motivations. Those are generally average. But now in the practicing lineage, in the Buddha teaching said, then you reflect 4 renunciation thoughts. 4 renunciation thoughts. Those are, first is known as the instructions on the precious lives. Instructions. Second is instructions on the impermanent. The third is the instructions of the cause and effect as are inevitable. And fourth is the instructions on the samsara has lot of challenges, lot of difficulties. Those are the 4 different point teachings, which is also known as these 4 these teachings are exactly the 4 teachings is the essence of the first 2 noble truth that what gracious teacher Buddha Shakyamuni gave. First 2 noble. When Buddha Shakyamuni reached enlightenment, age 35, after 7 weeks, he gave the teaching, first teaching known as 4 noble truth teachings. These 4 noble truth teaching, of course, you all know. Again, as I said, I'm reminding we all, for all of us, as much as I can. 4 noble truth teaching is, first is suffering truth. Second is cause of suffering truth. Third is the path truth. And the fourth is cessation truths. These first 2 truths, suffering truth, cause of suffering truth, that is 2 truth, is the essence of this 4 point of the training of the mind or 4 renunciation thoughts. Precious life, impermanent again, and cause and effects are inevitable, and the samsara has a lot of difficult challenges, one after another. So this, and now with this understanding, now what we call here, we said here the great master, his own Dudjom said in the teaching, first is the human body, our life, here translated as life, but it is our human body. Our human body, our life is, again, so precious. So many ways. First, everything of this life, what in the teaching often said, life is, if we use life, this our own precious life, it is the vehicle to the enlightenment. It is vehicle. It is vehicle according your practices. Practicing of the Theravada or Mahayana or the Vajrayana, according that level, this body, if we use the right way, is a vehicle that lead to the shore. And if we didn't use this life, precious this life, exactly as should be, then it is vehicle to the unending difficult, infinite source of the difficulties. How many times he said it is the anchor of the samsara. So this will be, it will lead and keep us on this, in the samsara. In the samsara, not just a regular samsara, it could keep us in the lower realms. So therefore, this body is, if we use the right way, or if we use the wrong way, that will determine our future destination according to Buddha's teachings. It is so precious, so important. It's crucial, important. If we use the right way, or if we use the wrong way. Wrong way. Who will do that? Who will decide use the right way or wrong way? No one is outside going to decide that. except one's own self. We have the 100% one authority to our own situation, particularly when we have such as 18 endowments. Among that, add freedoms. And you all know that. I will maybe list those things tomorrow too. Add freedoms. We have all the add freedoms. When you have the add freedoms, we have the perfect choice, perfect authority, whatever we like to use. This is our lives. Lives. For the good reason, for the wrong reasons. Even our intention may be like to be good reason, but our activity, if we don't do the right way with mindfulness, then it could turn into sour, completely opposite way you want, way it becoming. This is, as I said, is nobody is in authorities or in controls except on our own self. Particularly, such as all the practitioners, we have every freedoms. This, particularly in the many part of these countries or this world, really so many beautiful freedoms. Freedoms, if we use those right way, definitely we have the perfect opportunity to gain them. So therefore, here great master, his own Dudjom said, take the advantage of these lives, spiritual lives. Life is your usage or your sight. Whatever you like to do, you can do now. Everything is in your control, in your outreach. Reach beautiful stages. Therefore, please don't be slowed down. For that reason, Great Master Chanti Deva said, in a guide in the way of our lives. And use the boat, B-O-A-T, boat of these human lives. Cross the shore of the samsaras. This is the right time to do. Don't fall out. It is difficult to obtain such these good, beautiful opportunities in the future. Well, you have that. That's the principal meaning of what I said by Shanti Devas. So therefore, this spiritual life is so important. Life is so beautiful. Therefore, with great joy and appreciation, respect and use these some beautiful purposes. Purposes that to benefit to my own self, to the others. And that is what the great Buddha said in the teaching of fulfilling the dual purpose. Fulfilling the one's own purpose of good things, fulfilling the good purpose for others. Then we fulfilling the two purposes. Following the footsteps of the Buddha. Fulfilling the Buddha Shakyamuni, fulfilling his own purposes in a way, he becomes total enlightened beings. Free from all obscurations, negativities, difficulty, troubles, and fulfilling the benefit for all the beings to different emanations, the gayas, and the teachings of all that spread, and still the teaching of the Buddha, vividly existing, and we are applying. This is his message, Buddha's teachings. And Buddha Shakyamuni himself said, even my physical is not existing in the end of the degeneration times, but if there's teaching around the remain, that is me, he said. It's me. I'm with you then. That is me. So this means that we apply the teaching to our heart and mind as the Buddha told, which is good for us. It's not just because we are following Buddhism, Buddha teaching that I like to follow. It's not. Because it's so good. It's good in the beginning, good in the middle, and good in the ending. It is teachings of love, kindness, compassion, respect, and appreciation to every living being. Stay harmony, peaceful, explore the goodness, beauty of ours and others. Help to that, inspire that in that status. Don't let sing your beautiful nature in a kind of unknown status. Reveal that goodness, qualities, activate that qualities. That is known as the follower of the Buddha. follower of the Ngurpa Masam. Truly we will be win in this samsara, winner of the samsara, by being as simple, humble, down to the earth, but yet fulfilling so nice and beautiful. Something is harmonious, blended, not just a kind of like bouncing back and forth in a clashing things. Harmony, mingling, beautiful. And that is really the message, the teaching of the Buddha. So here, if we do that, that will then make the meaning of this, and with this thought, and then we go follow these teachings. One, again, I continue. I'm going to go slowly this teaching, as I said yesterday, because many of you already know this teaching. So if I kind of go through this fast and then go into something next one, going again, this and that is just, I thought maybe it's not necessary. And principally we really do retreat together and meditating, practicing and doing the healing practice for this timeless, the right situation to kind of curb that or demolish or despair. Really with beautiful heart, beautiful thought, practicing, and that is known as the practice of the bodhicitta and following the footsteps of the old great masters, our best capabilities, which is wonderful, which is beautiful, that I believe. And so that's my brief talk for today. Thank you very much everyone again participating and listening and trying to understand what I'm saying. See with my accents, so hopefully you're understanding 70%, 80%, 90% some degree, or maybe some degree, maybe those who are familiar with my language, maybe understanding 99% and a 9 point. And if not, so I'm sorry. Now we do short meditation together. Together again, about 20 minutes.